Welcome to our first online lesson. In today's lesson, we are going to revise reported speech and do some practice. Please make sure you've got your notebook and a pen or pencil ready because you'll need them for the exercises. So let's get started. When we report someone's words, we can do it in two ways: direct speech and reported or indirect speech. Direct speech, as the name implies, is someone's exact words. For example, Diane said, "I am happy." To write the same sentence in reported speech, we would say, Diane said that she was happy. Notice that there are a few differences between direct and reported speech. When we change direct speech to reported speech, we must often change the verb tense. For example, she said, "I am tired." This is direct speech. She said that she was tired. This is reported speech. The verb am is present simple, and the verb was is past simple. So if we use the present tense in direct speech, we use the past in reported speech. Another example, he said, "I have seen snow." This is direct speech. In reported speech, we say, he said that he had seen snow. Notice the present perfect simple, has seen, changes to the past perfect simple, had seen. The children said, "We are listening to music." This is direct speech. The children said that they were listening to music. This is reported speech. Notice that the present continuous changes to the past continuous. So what happens to the verb when we change a sentence from direct speech to reported speech? The verb shifts one tense back. As a result, present simple becomes past simple. Past simple changes to past perfect simple. Present perfect simple changes to past perfect simple. Past perfect simple remains the same. Must becomes had to. Will becomes would. May becomes might. The continuous verb forms also change. For example, am, are, is reading changes to was, were reading. Was, were traveling changes to had been traveling. Has been cooking changes to had been cooking. And had been singing remains the same, had been singing. Modal verbs such as might, could, would, should, ought to do not change. Now read the following rules and choose the correct option A, B, or C. When you change direct speech to reported speech, verbs in the present simple usually change to. The answer is the past simple. Verbs in the present continuous usually change to. The correct answer is the past continuous. Verbs in the past simple usually change to. The answer is A, the past perfect simple. Can changes to could, and pronouns sometimes change depending on the context. When changing direct speech to reported speech, we often need to change the time. For example, on Monday, the boy says to the girl, "I will call you tomorrow." A few days later, the girl meets her best friend and reports to her what the boy said. "He said he would call me the next day, but he didn't." Notice will changes to would and tomorrow to the next day. So, this evening changes to that evening. Today or this day changes to that day. These days becomes those days. Now becomes then. A week ago becomes a week before. Last weekend changes to the weekend before or the previous weekend. Next weekend, next week changes to the following week. Tomorrow changes to the next day or the following day. And here changes to there. And now last piece of information. It isn't always necessary to change the tense if something is still true now. For example, direct speech. Diane said, "I am a teacher." Reported speech. Diane said that she is a teacher. We don't need to change the tense because this is still true now. Let's look at another example. "I'm coming here tomorrow," she said. If it's reported on the same day, in the same place, she said she's coming here tomorrow. If it's reported later, in a different place, she said she was going there the next day. Now let's do some practice. Rewrite what Jane said using reported speech. I'll give you 20 seconds for each sentence. I don't want to read this book. The answer is Jane said she didn't want to read that book. Next one, I'm going to call Samantha. The answer is Jane said she was going to call Samantha. I can't find my mobile. The answer: Jane said she couldn't find her mobile. Next one, I can borrow my mom's phone. Reported speech: Jane said she could borrow her mom's phone. My mom doesn't have Samantha's phone number on her phone. In reported speech, that would be: Jane said her mom didn't have Samantha's phone number on her phone. And the last one, I'm going to Samantha's house. The answer: Jane said she was going to Samantha's house. Next, rewrite the quotations in reported speech, changing the pronouns where necessary. Again, you have 15 seconds for each sentence. First sentence: I want to catch the shoplifter, the security guard said. The answer is: the security guard said he wanted to catch the shoplifter. Second sentence: the police arrested a vandal, she said. Reported speech: she said the police had arrested a vandal. It's difficult to catch drug dealers, said a police officer. The correct answer is: the police inspector said it was difficult to catch drug dealers. We are questioning two teenagers about a burglary, the police officer said. The answer is: the police officer said they were questioning two teenagers about the burglary. And the last sentence: a boy in my class vandalized a park bench, my brother said. The answer: my brother said a boy in his class had vandalized a park bench. This is the end of our first online lesson. Till next time.